Hello class, I'm going to be doing my analysis presentation on Fred the Fish. He is a character from SpongeBob. So he is 35 years old, he's a male. His primary diagnostic is repetitive strain injury, as well as his secondary diagnostic is chronic instability. The OT settings that I'm treating him in is going to be in skilled nursing facility, and also the frame of reference that will be utilized is biomechanical and rehabilitation frame of reference. So I'm going to be discussing a little bit about the history of Fred. So Fred is a timid and shy fish living in Bikini Bottom. He works as a junior clerk at the Chum Bucket, assisting Plankton with administrative tasks. However, Fred dreams of becoming a stand-up comedian and making others laugh. One day, Fred stumbles upon a flyer advertising an open mic night at the Goo Lagoon Comedy Club. Determined to conquer his stage fright and pursuing his passion, Fred decides to give it a try with the support of SpongeBob and his friends. He begins working on his comedy routines, honing his jokes and practicing his delivery. Fred, caught off guard by the sudden burst of laughter, stumbled backwards and accidentally knocks over a stack of comedy club merchandise, causing a domino effect with other items nearby. Amidst the chaos, he tried to regain his balance and unfortunately twisted his leg in the process. The room fell silent as Fred let out a yelp, exclaiming, "My leg." The comedians, momentarily taken back, paused their acts and the audience gasped in concern, realizing that Fred was injured. The staff of the comedy club rushed into his aid. After the incident, Fred's mobility is severely compromised, leaving him unable to perform even simple tasks. Frustrated and in pain, he seeks medical attention and is referred to an occupational therapist, Dr. Dutchman, who specializes in aquatic rehabilitation. Dr. Dutchman, a compassionate and skilled therapist, helps Fred understand the extent of his injury and guides him through a tailored rehabilitation program. Initially hesitant and nervous, Fred gradually develops trust in Dr. Dutchman and becomes determined to regain his mobility and independence. Fred's rehabilitation journey begins with a gentle exercise and aquatic therapy session at the Bikini Bottom Rehabilitation Center. Under Dr. Dutchman's guidance, Fred learns to build strength and flexibility in his injured leg while also working on improving his overall balance and coordination. As weeks turn into months, Fred's progress becomes evident. He gains confidence, gradually regaining the ability to swim, walk, and perform everyday tasks. Along the way, he discovers a newfound appreciation for the healing power of therapy and the resilience of his own spirit. In the end, Fred's injury becomes a turning point in his life, teaching him the values of resilience, perseverance, and the remarkable healing ability of therapy. He continues to visit Dr. Dutchman for an occupational checkups to remains an ambassador for the transformative power of rehabilitation. After he receives and seeing an occupational therapist, Fred went on a stroll in the park and noticed there were buildings falling outside of Mrs. Puff's boating school. Her students ended up failing his test and caused mayhem at Bikini Bottom and got hit by a car and restarted his treatment again with Dr. Dutchman. So now I'm going to go ahead and discuss the activity which is called surfboard balancing. So it has a lot to do with the table 12 occupation. Fred's favorite occupation would be doing stand-up comedy. So we're going to be able to get him to do the things that he loves. The setting will be inside. The supplies that I would need would be a surfboard, non-slip socks, grip bar, and then the duration would be the session will last about 30 minutes. I will explain to Fred the reasons on why balancing on a board could help his range of motion and proprioception. I will require Fred to put on the non-slip socks first, and then I would start by familiarizing Fred with the surfboard, teach him about the different parts of the board such as the nose, tail, and fins, explain how weight distribution and body positioning affect balance and stability on the board. I would have Fred stand on the board with his feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent and arms out for balance. I will encourage him to find the center of gravity and maintain balance since the current in the ocean is constantly moving. If he feels that the current is becoming too strong, he will have to grip onto the grip bar right next to him that he could use to support himself to prevent a fall. The last activity would be flutter kicks in a pool. So the setting would be outside. The supplies that we would need is a pool noodle, pool flotation belt, pool membership. The session will last about 30 minutes. The occupational therapist will provide Fred with an explanation of the flutter kicks exercise, including the proper techniques, body positioning, and safety precautions. They would demonstrate the exercise and ensure Fred's understanding on how to perform correctly. I will require Fred to grab a noodle, and while holding onto the pool noodle for support, Fred can perform flutter kicks with both legs in the horizontal position. This exercise targets the muscles of the leg, including an injured leg, and helps improve the strength and endurance.